Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of February 14, Friday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kicking off today's rush with Malacanang denying that the decision to include Taiwan in the travel ban was a matter of geopolitics. Presidential spokesperson San Panelo said on Thursday that the president's main concern in enforcing the ban is the health and safety of Filipinos. Panelo insists the move has nothing to do with One China policy, which considers Taiwan as a province of the Middle Kingdom. Taiwan's acting embassy in Manila says Philippines is so far the only country in Asia that has prohibited travel to and from the East Asian destination. In its peak, or rather, it's the peak hiring season this time of the year of OFWs bound for Taiwan. But with the ongoing travel ban, workers and recruitment agencies are feeling the brunt. Marian Enriquez has the report.
Overseas Filipino worker Twinkle was supposed to leave for Taiwan last Tuesday to work in a factory. But while at the airport, authorities told her and other passengers they won't be able to fly to Taipei as the travel ban to the COVID-19 outbreak was expanded to include Taiwan.
Asang-asa na po kami na babalik na kami para makapag-work ulit, tas biglang ban na pala.
Like Twinkle, Melody from Isabela is just as frustrated. She borrowed a huge sum of money to process her documents.
Parang na-depress po kasi ang laki po ng nagastos namin, pamasahe, ganyan, pagod, puyat. Ang dami po namin pinasis tapos ganun lang po.
Twinkle and Melody are among the almost 300 OFWs affected by the travel restriction. They sought assistance from the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, which is doling out 10,000 pesos as financial assistance for affected OFWs. According to the Filipino Manpower Agencies accredited to Taiwan, it's hiring season among factories in Taipei, with around 300 Filipinos normally deployed daily during this time of the year. But if the ban stretches, they fear that factories will look elsewhere for laborers.
Pag walang tao, mapipilitan sila mag-decide to get another nationality. Pag pinalitan na yung nationality ng Pilipino, mahirap na ibalik. Because the contract is 3 years.
This might be one of the possible scenarios should Taiwan retaliate due to the ban. The Taiwanese government threatens to scrap the 14-day visa-free entry for Filipinos, as well as halt the acceptance of Filipino workers in their country. They believe the restriction is political in nature instead of a health concern. On the other hand, Palace spokesman Salvador Panelo denied this and clarified it has nothing to do with politics. He said the Philippine government is only concerned with the health and safety of Filipinos. The group of recruitment agencies will be meeting with Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello to appeal the lifting of the travel ban. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
More on the COVID-19 outbreak. The number of suspected cases of COVID-19 here in the Philippines is still on the rise. As of Thursday, the Health Department has recorded 33 new persons under investigation in the country, most of which are in Metro Manila. 230 patients are still confined to various hospitals, while more people have been discharged since Wednesday. But across the globe, the number of COVID-positive patients jumped to 60,364 yesterday. That's after authorities from Hubei province in China revised their method of data gathering. This has also affected the COVID-19 death toll, which now stands at 1,370. Now, on the bright side, it also bumped the number of recovered patients to 6,000. But the World Health Organization tells everyone that the spike in cases does not represent a significant change on how the virus is spreading. The International Health Agency says the sharp increase in COVID-19 cases was just a result of changes on how the disease is being diagnosed. If before lab tests are needed, in Hubei province, a mere chest scan can now confirm a case. Except for quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, which now has over 200 passengers positive for the virus, the WHO sees no major shift in the spread of the outbreak.
Outside the cases on the Diamond Princess cruise ship, we're not seeing a dramatic increase in transmission outside China. We're still saying to governments around the world that we still have an opportunity to prepare for the potential spread of the virus.
In response to the outbreak, scientists around the world attended the Global Research and Innovation Forum held by the WHO in Geneva, Switzerland on Wednesday. During the two-day forum, the experts identified that aside from finding a cure, it's important to know the transmission and epidemiology of the disease. Chinese scientists who are on the front lines of the fight against epidemic are also joined at the forum remotely to share their findings and treatment experiences of the virus. Philippine authorities are flagging a drastic drop in passengers' volume amid the imposed travel ban. Gerald de la Peña has the report.
This time of year, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport should be brimming with passengers. But despite what should have been a peak season for travelers, the gateway is practically empty. Since the government imposed a travel ban on Hong Kong, Macau, China, and Taiwan due to the COVID-19 scare, passenger count has been lower by 17,000 daily. Data from the Manila International Airport Authority showed from January 25 to February 12, passenger volume plunged by 13.26% compared to last year. Flight cancellations, meanwhile, has already left hundreds of Filipinos stranded in Macau.
Yung visa ng baby ko at saka yung wife ko ay patapos na. Considering po na napakamahal ang overstay dito, that's around 500 Macau dollar or 3,000 pesos every day.
Airlines are already feeling the pinch. That's why, in a meeting on Wednesday, aviation authorities have asked airlines to add more domestic flights to make up for the losses.
Sa ngayon, di ba, marami tayong reduction in terms of frequency. Yung extra aeroplano nila gamitin sa local tourism, which is, I think, it's a good suggestion.
Officials said airlines are open to the proposal. The Civil Aeronautics Board, the government agency tasked to approve flight schedules, said additional flights to various destinations within the country could start as early as next week.
Any local airline can operate any destination in the Philippines. There is no restriction on the routes, there is no restriction on the number of flights, and hopefully this will work because at least they can cut their losses.
Aside from offsetting losses, the move is also seen as a means to promote local tourism. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Amid rising cases of COVID-19 worldwide, President Duterte has issued a reminder to the Filipino public. In a recorded message, Duterte recognized COVID-19 as a grave threat but insisted that the government is on top of things. The president urged everyone to maintain good personal hygiene and avoid listening to non-official sources regarding details on the virus, which may just sow panic.
The government, together with the World Health Organization, medical societies, and partners in private sector, is addressing the challenge and preparing for any eventuality. Maging malinis. Hugasan yung kamay frequently, yung paulit-ulit. Maging maingat at yung mga impormasyon na importante na manggaling sa WHO ay ating pakinggan. At huwag makinig dyan sa mga haka-haka.
If you're looking to see the beauty of Sagada this Valentine's, well, it's time for a change of plans. The Philippine Star reports that Sagada is now on lockdown due to the threat of COVID-19. Sagada Mayor James Putin Jr. issued an executive order yesterday to suspend all ecotourism activities until further notice. Only privately owned establishments are exempted from the ban. And U.S. President Donald Trump shrugs off Philippines' decision to terminate the Visiting Forces Agreement. Palace is also nonchalant. Pangmasa reports that a Palace spokesperson Sal Panelo welcomed Trump's statement thanking Philippines for the move that will save them money.
Then he's welcome. If he said that, how can we be more populist than the Pope? Maybe he agrees with the position of the President that it is time that we stand on our own resources and defend our country from enemies of the state by ourselves.
Apart from affecting other treaties, the termination of the Visiting Forces Agreement may go as far as to fuel a coup d'etat, according to some defense experts. Here's the report.
After 2 decades, The Philippines breaks up one of its military pacts with the United States after it notified America of its intentions to terminate the Visiting Forces Agreement. Congress has been divided over the issue, and cabinet members have weighed the pros and cons. But some experts note that the move could stir tensions in the country's defense force. Military historian and defense analyst Jose Custodio even said the VFA abrogation could fuel a coup d'etat.
Pwede magkaroon ng restiveness na sinasabi sa loob ng AFP. Alam nila nakikinabag dyan China eh. Galit ang AFP sa China. So pwede magkaroon ng coup or mutinies.
The Visiting Forces Agreement came into force on May 1999. It was a response to China's attempts to reclaim Mischief Reef after the military turned over its bases and left the Philippines in 1992. Senator Panfilo Lacson said the VFA's abrogation could expose the country to domestic and foreign terrorist attacks. In a statement, Lacson said it was not the smartest move for President Duterte to expose the country without inking similar defense treaties with other nations. But former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque urged soldiers to turn to reason.
Wag po kayo makikinig sa mga maninira ngayon kay Presidente. Si Presidente Duterte lamang ang talagang naglaan ng sapat na resources para kahit papano maging moderno ang hukbong sandatahan natin. We do not owe the Americans anything as far as yung modernization ng ating armed forces.
House Minority Leader Benny Abante Jr., meanwhile, is optimistic that any coup attempt against Duterte will not prosper.
Napakataas ng rating ng Pangulo natin. Magatagumpay kaya ang kudita. I don't think that any kind of kudita can ever prosper.
The VFA is set to expire 180 days after the filing of the Notice of Termination.
Time now for some quick Valentine's trip around the world. This flower shop owner in Beijing is doing business in a safe way amid the COVID-19 outbreak. As some people pass by his store to buy Valentine's Day flowers, his shop also offers hand sanitizers along with the bouquets. 100,000 condoms are being given out in Mexico City. This is part of the local government's new Safe Sex campaign, with Valentine's Day chosen as the International Condom Day in the city. The free condoms were handed out in a bid to raise awareness on sexually transmitted infections. Despite this, use of contraception in the conservative Catholic country is still considered a taboo. But Valentine's Day is not just a day for couples. This was proved by a bar in Los Angeles named Breakup Bar, where all single ladies and single men gather and talk about why they do not like the Day of Love. True to its name, the pop-up bar houses an 8-foot wall of broken relationships where people can air out their grievances to past lovers. It also features a selection of drinks including I Dealt With Your Parents for Years, Serious Baggage, and Ghosted. Plus, the bar also lets you shred the photos of your ex for a free bucket of wings. And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.